Doesn't that make for an interesting morning? My goodness. I'll explain in a minute. You're probably like, I don't care. I don't need explanations. I just need you to get on with the show. It's probably what you're thinking. And we're going to do that right now.
Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to seven, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Today is Monday, October 7th, 2019. That's right. Today is Monday, October 7th, 2019. And what's crazy is today is the very first and very last time it'll ever be Monday, October 7th, 2019. Now, apparently, this weekend, some people from China or somewhere tried to hack into my Facebook account. So when I tried to go live after setting up all my stuff and being so excited to be back here in the Hashtag Rise and Grind studio, when I tried to go live, it made me go through this whole re-authentication process. So it made me confirm posts that I've made in the past, comments that I've made in the past, friends that I may or may not have added, friends that are may or may not have deleted. It made me go through this whole process, and I didn't realize I was going to have to do that until about 5:29. So, I apologize for those of you that are watching live. I am here 4 minutes late this morning. Please accept my apology. For those of you that are watching on replay, if I wouldn't have said nothing, you never would have known. But that's the great thing about Glenn Lundy and Hashtag Rise and Grind, is I will always share the experience with you as though it's live, even though I know I probably could have got away with it a little bit later. Enough of that. Good morning. Today is Monday, October 7th, 2019. What's crazy is yesterday it was 85 degrees. Today we're looking at a high of 57 degrees. We're going from 85 to 57. Quite a jump. It feels like fall may actually be on its way. I don't know. I haven't looked at the long forecast. And as my friend Brandon teases me all the time, I'm technically not a weatherman. However, I think the weather is important to know what you're looking for that in day. So it's going to be cold. It's going to be a little bit rainy. And to be honest with you, I'm actually thankful. I'm thankful for the rain. It's been super, super dry out here in Kentucky. And I'm thankful for, a little bit cooler temps. I don't know about you, but it's been kind of warm. It's been kind of hot, and I could use a little bit cooler temp. What up, Darian Sanders, coming in from the airport this morning. Great to see you, my friend. Now, listen, in light of what could possibly be some gloomy weather, I thought I better cheer you up first thing this morning.
А вы, дорогие друзья, выходите вот сюда. Ой, я извиняюсь. Пардон.
Big round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring it out. Careful with that gate. Whoa! Jeff, come. I got just a minute.
Yeah, you might want to check the weight limit on that horse and buggy before you go loading up the entire Hashtag Rise and Grind morning tribe up on that son of a gun. Listen, marriage is all about a lifelong commitment, right? A lifelong commitment to another human being in this particular sense that we're using it right now, right? Like I have a lifelong commitment to my wife and my hero, Miss Leslie Ann Lundy, she is a beast, man. You should have seen this woman this week. I was out of town last week. I was in Virginia with Liza and Danelle and the incredible team at Carter Myers Automotive. And so while I was there last week, my wife was here holding down the fort, right? Holding down the fort, taking care of all of the kiddos, which we have 7 kids total. She's taking care of all of the kiddos. Plus, we live in an area and there's some neighbor kids. The neighbor kids love hanging out at the Lundy house. Like when I walked in my house, I think it was yesterday or the day before, my wife's like, just so you know, there's 9 of them here. There was like 9 kids in the house. I'm just like, there's just little people in my house all the time. I don't even recognize half of them. But my wife, man, she's just an absolute beast. So she held down the fort while I was in Virginia. Then this weekend, she finds great therapy in using the pressure washer. So I step back. I let my wife pressure wash whenever she wants to pressure wash. Something about the cleanliness and the strips and the lines and so on and so forth. I don't know. It's not necessarily my dig. It's hers. But I have this marriage, this lifelong commitment to my wife. And I think it's interesting as I look at this thing called marriage, because as you guys know, I'm a student. I'm always trying to learn as much as I can when it comes to success, when it comes to being the greatest versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. I'm constantly a student so that I can share those things with you so that you too can become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And this thing called marriage is pretty interesting. Now, some of you may be married to another, some of you may not, some of you may enjoy marriage, some of you may not. But when I'm talking marriage, I want to look at it more as, what does it mean? What does it entail? And how can we apply that to our businesses? How can we apply that to our personal lives? How can we apply not necessarily the just sanctity of marriage to another human being, but the whole concept and the process as a whole? Let me give you an idea of what I mean. This says here, these are traditional marriage vows that you may have shared with another, or I'm sure you've heard before at some point in your life. It says, I blank take the blank to be my wedded husband / wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do us part, according to God's holy ordinance. And thereto I pledge thee my faith. I pledge myself to you. Think about those words, and then think about your dreams. Think about those words, and then think about your career. Think about those words, and then think, what if those words said, I, Rhonda Wigglesworth, take thee, Rhonda Wigglesworth, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do us part, according to God's holy ordinance. What if those words said, I, John Colton-born, take thee, my career at Carter Myers Automotive, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do us part, according to God's holy ordinance. What if those words said, I, Heather Jackson, take my absolute ultimate dream and my success to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do us part, according to God's holy ordinance? What if the commitment that you made to achieving that passion, that dream, that thing that fires you up was that strong? What if it was that strong? Because here's more what I tend to see, and I find this interesting as I was studying up on marriage and getting to know and understand it a little bit better. There's an interesting thing here. See, around the globe, many people have broken this promise. They've broken this promise of marriage, and they've went out and gotten divorced. And I'm not here to give anybody, I'm not judging anyone on their relationship choices or anything like that. I know everyone has their own scenarios and their own things that go on in life, but I do just want to take a peek at this because I found something interesting. I found a trend. I found something really interesting, and so I want to share this stat with you. Here's the divorce facts. Okay, divorce has actually gone down over time. It used to be 50% of people got divorced. Now it's down to 42 to 45%, which is good. But notice something there at the top. Divorces per. It looks like typically when people get married their first time, 42% of those end up in divorce. The second time people get married, that number rises to 60%. And people that get married for a third time, that number rises to 73%. 73% of people that get married for the third time get divorced. I think that's really, really interesting. We're going to dive into that here a little bit further in just a minute. But before we let's dance, my friends. What are we listening to today? Oh, I think it goes a little Despacito, and then I think it changes to something else. But for those of you that know, for those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way people start their day is for you to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want you to say good morning to me, and I'm going to say good morning to you. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, I need you to say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. What's up, John Caltonborn? What's up, Whitney Wells? How are you? How you doing, Pam Biddle? Janelle Griego? Of course, we've got my man Josh. Oh, what's up, Kurt Cahill? How are you? What's up? Who else is up in here? James Evans, Christopher Campbell, Rick Tamburino. How are you, sir? What's up, Laura Fireman? We've got George Fleming Jr. is in the house. We've got Karen, Melissa Jones, Mike Hubbard, Tracy Shepard, Casey Rossiter, Angela Vetter's Health. My man Jeff Baker is up here in the house. Beth Workman, Melvin Rodriguez, Rick Tamburino. I already said you, didn't I? Douglas Chitrin. All y'all up here in the house. I stinking love it. Jessica Terrell, Greg Bancroft. There's almost 100 people watching here live. You see that? Maybe if you hit that share button, we'll jump this sucker right up over 100. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Hey, listen. Listen. Before we get too far into this marriage information that I want to share with you, I want you to take a look at something real quick. Because we are 54 days, that's right, we are 54 days away from launching the next level for the hashtag Rise and Grind group, the hashtag Rise and Grind movement. We are 54 days away from launching something incredible that it's so incredible I can't even share exactly what it is with you. Be safe, Darian Sanders. For those of you that don't know, that guy Darian Sanders who's hopping on a plane right now, he is on the Lion King tour, the Broadway Lion King tour. He's traveling all over. So if the Broadway show Lion King shows up in your city or your area, make sure you stop in and see Darian Sanders as a part of our group. He's incredible. 54 days left until the launch of what's next for hashtag Rise and Grind, and I still need your help. You see, I've asked you, those of you that are watching hashtag Rise and Grind, I've asked for your help because as we launch in 54 days, it's going to be really important that we do a couple things. So the way that you can help and the way that you have been helping, I want to share with you. So the way that you can help is I need you to do a couple things. I need you to go in and invite every single person on your friends list. Invite every member of your friends list to the hashtag Rise and Grind group. I know I'm asking a lot, but I promise you it'll be worth it. I've also asked you to share your hashtag Rise and Grind stories, your M5 stories. Share those with me in the group. Danielle, I ran into her yesterday at Southland Christian Church, and she shared with me her Rise and Grind story. She shared how she started watching Rise and Grind. She started applying the M5 in her life, and in doing so, it created some opportunities for promotion at work. She rededicated herself to her career. She got some promotions, and now she's moving to Washington, D.C. to work at the President's Hospital. So very, very, very cool. And that all came from an invite. Gail B. Craft invited Danielle, and now her life has been completely changed. So I've asked you to invite your friends. I've asked you to share your Rise and Grind stories, which you've been doing. I've also asked you to post every single day in the group. Just make one post in the group, which is absolutely incredible. If you would please do that, and then stay tuned. I'm going to have a lot of giveaways over the next 54 days, but I can show you right here. Look, it's making a difference. It's making an impact. You guys have brought our total members up right here to 29,106, which is amazing. We're almost to 30,000 members. You can see how that's increased from 28.5. So we picked up right there 600 members here in the last little bit, the majority of them right here. Now, just because you invite them doesn't mean they join. Make sure you understand that. But your invite is their opportunity for them to come join the group if they would like. When you flip over here, there have been 62,000 posts, comments, and reactions in the last 28 days, which is incredible. You can see our active member count, 23,701, which is super high. Out of 29,000 members, 23,701 of them have been active in the group over the last 28 days, which is absolutely incredible. Our posts, we started out, we kind of peaked right here, though you guys were making sure to make posts every day. It's gone down just a little bit, so I want to make sure that we continue to do so. But overall, we're up 30% over how we were doing last month. So incredible job. I really appreciate you guys. Some of our top posts is Amy Myers, we've been praying for Amy Myers and her husband. Melissa Jones has asked for some prayers for Bambi and her daughter, which I want to make sure we draw attention to that today. Bambi has been fighting an incredible fight. Her daughter, Aubrey, has been fighting a fight for her life over the last few days. They are at the hospital and have been for a while. It started off as a cold. Turned out it was pneumonia, and this little girl has been on life support for a few days. They've been pumping her heart, and they've been breathing for her while her body tries to clear up this viral thing that's going on. So with that said, if you could shoot your prayers out for Bambi and for Amy Myers, I greatly appreciate it. But 54 days from launch, it's going to be life-changing. You guys are going to absolutely love it, but I need your help. A post every day. Invite all of your friends. Please invite all of your friends. Post every day. Comment on other people's votes. The more activity, the better it is. Let's go back to this. So we talked about this divorce stat. First marriages, 42%. Second marriages, 60%. Third marriages, 73%. Now, what I find most interesting about this is the increase, right? Each marriage, the chance of divorce increases. Now, I find this super interesting because you would think once you've done it before, I've gone through marriage one time and I realize my mistakes. I know what I did wrong. I know why we ended in marriage. So now that I know, I should be able to avoid that mistake going forward. I should be able, the numbers should be less, right? It should be like 42% of first marriages, then second marriages, we've gotten better. So now we stay married longer. Third marriages, we're absolute pros at this point. So you would think it would get better, but it doesn't. It gets worse. With each marriage, the chance of divorce increases. Now, why is that? See, some of you might blow past that stat, but not me. I find that really interesting because I also read and I study, all kinds of other things. And when you put all the pieces to the puzzle together, I think it's really interesting that once we allow ourselves, right? Once we allow ourselves, John Colton Bourne's on it. Once we allow ourselves to break a commitment, once we allow ourselves to say, no, it's okay, not today. Once we allow ourselves to do that, it becomes easier and easier and easier to break our commitments. Our words, our promises, what's the word I'm looking for? Our words, our promises, our pledge to ourselves or to others becomes easier and easier. Whether it's be you working out, you make a commitment to take care of your health. You make a commitment to take care of your body. You make a commitment to go running every day. You make a commitment to go swimming. You make like Ben St. Oars, or you make a commitment to go to the gym, or you make a commitment to 75 hard like our guy Scott Simon. Maybe it has something to do with working out. You make that commitment, and at first you start off on fire, just like a marriage, right? Everybody's on fire in the beginning, but over time it loses a little bit of its thunder, it loses a little bit of its luster, and then you allow yourself to break the commitment. And once you allow yourself to break the commitment once, it just becomes easier to break the commitment again and again and again. Or maybe it's the commitment that you've made to taking care of your mind, the commitment to your mental state. You're making a commitment. You say, okay, hey, in the mornings, I'm not going to touch my phone first thing. And in the mornings, I am committed to listening to instrumental music only, so that words cannot be planted that I don't want to hear. Because music, my friends, I'm telling you, music, it soothes the soul. Music makes you move. Music does so many things that makes it attractive. But I was playing some music for my kids last night that I was just thinking, okay, it's just music that I like, it's just songs. But then when you start to listen to the words, you start to listen to the actual words that are being planted, that are being seeded, that are being rooted. And when I listened to it from that aspect, I thought, man, I don't want my kids listening to this. No wonder some of their behaviors sometimes are the way that it is. You have to be careful. It's a commitment, right? Maybe it's a commitment that you made to like how you talk. Maybe it's a commitment to how you're going to talk to the people in your life, your spouse or your coworkers, your employees. Maybe you made a commitment to how you're going to speak. I think it's really interesting. Do you realize like we tend to have more self-control as a kid with our words than we do as an adult? You notice that? Like as a kid, we knew things were cuss words and we wouldn't say them, we wouldn't use them. But yet as an adult, it just pops right out, right? It flies right out. And sometimes we hurt other people's feelings. Sometimes we make other people feel less than by not keeping our commitment to ourselves. I think it's really interesting. Now, see, the same is true in our careers. Like, once we start, we get super, super excited. It's a new job. My man Matt Groves is at a new job right now at Carter Myers Automotive. Danielle's getting ready to head out to a new job in Washington, D.C. And so in our careers, we start off and it's this interesting thing and it's exciting and it's brand new, just like it is in a marriage. And so we pour into it and we are committed to it and we spend more time studying and learning and we make sure to serve that career as best as humanly possible and develop new relationships, and we make sure we're cleaned up and we've got our newest clothes on. We go shopping and we make sure we look good and we do all of those things. And then over time it starts to fizzle out, and then we stop trying so hard or we quit, and that choice leads to another bad decision and another and another and another. As I was reading more about marriage and getting a better understanding of what that looks like, I read an interesting stat. It says that most people that do choose to get a divorce usually think about it for 2 years. They think about it for 2 years before they actually pull the trigger and take action on that. I come to find that a lot of people do that in the workplace as well. They know that the workplace isn't serving them properly. They know that they're not fulfilling their utmost passions. They know that they're not getting everything that they can. They know that they're not pouring everything into. They know that they're just kind of going through the motions every single day as they go to work. They know this, and yet they stay. They stay at 60% energy and effort. They stay at 70% energy and effort. They stay and continue to hide or shrink or run out the back door as soon as the dinner bell rings. They stay in misery. They hate it. They look forward to Fridays. They want to kill themselves on Mondays, not literally, but you know what I mean. And maybe some of them it is literally. They dread Monday. They look forward to Friday. They stay for years in misery. And I understand marriage is different. It's biblical. There's a decision that we made, a commitment to God. I understand that sometimes we will stick that out probably a little longer. We should. But we shouldn't just ride it out in misery. We should put in energy and the effort to make things better. You see, that stamp of marriage doesn't mean stamp of misery. It doesn't say it. We're here when it says for rich or where it says for better or for worse, for rich or for poor, in sickness and health, to love and to cherish. When it says all of those things, what it's saying is, I will work on this through those things, not I will ride this out through those things. You see, marriage is filled with highs and lows. We totally understand that, and we try and we fail. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, but we don't quit, right? We never quit. We understand that we're not supposed to quit. So this week, I want to discuss marrying your career. Like, what does that look like? And this week, I want to discuss marrying, chasing your dreams. And what does that look like? This week, I want to discuss marrying yourself and extracting the greatness that can come out when you do. You see, the goal is to heighten your awareness. Obviously, the more you know, the better. You know how this works. The more you know, the better. Because as of right now, you don't know what you don't know. But that's what I'm here for. Because see, there is nothing, absolutely nothing more important to me than this simple fact right here. You see, I know that you are a child of God. I know this. I know that you are uniquely made by the God of the universe to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. You see, I know this about you. I know who your father is, and I know my role and my responsibility in helping to bring that out of you. And see, as a child of God, all of your decisions, all of them, every single one, even the ones that are seemingly small, they make an impact. They make an impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers. Heck, you've made a massive impact on me. And you see, I absolutely love you for it. I love you for the impact that you've had on my life. I love you as a sister. I love you as a brother. I do. If nobody's told you that yet this morning, I want to be the first. I want to be the first. And see, I can't speak for the other people in your life. However, I can say if we make a commitment to you being the best version of yourself that you can possibly be, I promise they're going to love you just as much. Listen, if you need more videos like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. If you need some Rise and Grind gear, go to glennlundy.com. But most importantly, will you do me a favor? Will you come back here again tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. because we're going to do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind.
Hashtag Rise and Grind. First thing on my mind, early
Come on.